This man felt compassion for a famished deer and provided it with nourishment. However, the astonishment he experienced upon opening his door the following morning was so profound that it swiftly propelled him to viral fame. During his childhood in San Antonio, Lynn Smith's greatest desires revolved around embarking on escapades and forming connections with exotic creatures. He nurtured grand aspirations of becoming a park ranger, envisioning interactions with tigers and other majestic felines. However, as he transitioned into adolescence, Lynn's yearnings for wild and unique animals gradually faded. His focus shifted to a new aspiration, becoming a prominent finance broker. Diligent and industrious, his teenage years were marked by determined efforts. Excelling academically, he pursued higher education and embarked on a trajectory within the financial realm. With the passage of time, Lynn actualized his aspirations. Climbing the ranks, he achieved his goal and ascended to the role of vice president in a prestigious finance firm. Along this journey, he encountered an enchanting and gracious woman, with whom he fell deeply in love, eventually leading to marriage. Lynn's trajectory seemed fixed, his life's direction taking him away from any inkling of an unexpected fame. Yet, the year 2020 brought unprecedented changes. Amidst a global pandemic that prompted widespread social distancing, the Smiths established a routine of solitary evening strolls. As the sun cast its final gleams upon the horizon, they embarked on these walks, their hands intertwined like infatuated adolescents. They would wander their neighborhood, strolling along quiet streets, absorbing the nature's beauty, reminiscing about the past, and weaving dreams for the future. The city's green spaces provided a haven for diverse wildlife, amplifying the enchantment of their walks. A recurring highlight was encountering local deer. Graceful and captivating, these creatures often crossed their path, moving elegantly across open fields or finding reprieve beneath oak tree canopies. The couple remained perpetually captivated by the animals' allure, often pausing to witness their serene grazing. As time passed, a remarkable bond began to form. The deer seemed acclimated to Lynn and his wife's presence, drawing closer with their curious gazes intersecting those of the couple. Although they kept just enough distance to elude touch, their tranquility around Lynn's household hinted at a friendly connection. Then, a surprise unfolded. One day, while Lynn enjoyed a snack on his porch, a curious deer strayed from its group, approaching him with keen interest in his food. Sensing a plea in the creature's eyes, Lynn discerned its hunger. Recognizing this need, he understood that his nuts might not suffice. Filled with empathy, he got up and entered his home, compelled to help. Within moments, he returned with an assortment of fruits and vegetables. He carefully approached the deer, extending the fruits towards it with gentle movements. The deer's eyes lit up, its hunger evident as it gratefully accepted the offering. The severity of the deer's hunger became evident in the ravenous speed with which it hungrily consumed the fruits and vegetables he had brought. As the animal ate, Lynn carefully observed the contours of its body. Noticing its protruding ribs and gaunt appearance, it was evident that the deer's health was compromised. Deeply moved by this realization, Lynn was glad he could be of help to the poor creature. By the next morning, he still thought about his encounter with the deer and kept smiling to himself. He hadn't thought about his childhood passion for wild animals in a long time, but now he wondered how different his life would have been if he had indeed become a park ranger. Still deep in his thoughts, he reached for the door handle to let himself out of the house and into the lawn. As soon as he opened the door, his eyes widened in shock as he took in the sight before him, a sight that filled his heart with wonder. There, standing proudly on his doorstep, was the deer he had cared for. But it wasn't alone. It had returned with other members of its herd. Word of the man's compassion and generosity had spread throughout the deer community. It became obvious that they were facing a shortage of food in their habitat, and their instinct had guided them to the one who had shown kindness to one of them in its time of need. Filled with empathy, Lynn Smith sprang into action, determined to make a difference. He fetched an abundance of food, fruits, vegetables, and forage foliage were laid out in a magnificent display, a feast fit for the noble creatures that stood before him. With deliberate care, he distributed the food, ensuring that each member of the herd got their share. He reached out to an animal nutrition expert and got recommendations on the best kinds of foods to feed the increasing deer population. Following advice from the expert, he formulated the best meal and fed his new friends eagerly every day. As the days turned into weeks, a heartwarming routine unfolded for the Smiths. With each morning's arrival, Lin would open his door to be greeted by an ever-growing congregation of deer eagerly awaiting their breakfast. What had started with a single deer and its herd had multiplied into a community of graceful beings, drawn by the knowledge that he would provide sustenance and care. Undeterred by the growing numbers, Lin embraced the responsibility bestowed upon him. He was even flattered by the trust they had placed in him with unwavering dedication. He meticulously prepared generous portions of food, ensuring that each member of the expanding herd received their share. Inspired by the beauty and connection he experienced with the deer, the man decided to capture these magical moments on film using his phone. He documented the daily visits, the graceful interactions, and the sheer joy of being in the presence of these majestic creatures. One day, after sharing the video with a friend, he received encouragement to explore social media's potential for cultivating a specific audience. Back then, he was largely unfamiliar with the platform. Social media didn't hold much allure for him. A Facebook profile was as far as he ventured. Intrigued by the notion of sharing his heartwarming encounters with a broader audience, he took the plunge and uploaded his inaugural video. Posted in February 2021, the touching clip unveiled his garage door opening to a gathering of deer with hunger-filled gazes. Unbeknownst to him, this decision would catalyze a remarkable series of events. As the video debuted on social media, it resonated profoundly with a global audience. The scenes of deer congregating at his doorstep, the tender moments of feeding, and the poignant bond between human and wildlife struck a chord across age groups and backgrounds. In a matter of hours, the video started amassing attention, receiving likes, comments, and shares at an astonishing pace. Posting more videos, he was taken aback by the unexpected surge of adoration. The heartwarming Smiths and their growing deer companions captivated millions, igniting a yearning for connection and a rekindled reverence for nature. As viral videos spread, Lin found himself thrust into unforeseen fame. Social media brimmed with messages of admiration, gratitude, and curiosity, hailing his kindness and the enchanting rapport he fostered with the deer. Embracing various monikers like Snow White and Bambi, the moniker that stuck was the Deer Whisperer. Presently, Lin Smith boasts 2 million social media followers, alongside significant followings on YouTube and Instagram. International media clamored for interviews, eager to share his narrative. In one such conversation, he shared, "They're like my pets. I'm feeding more than 70 deer now." Within his entourage of deer, notable stars emerged. Buddy, Bluebell, and Sandy became familiar names on social media. Lin consistently shares snapshots of his everyday interactions with these endearing creatures. The procession of deer accompanying him at his Lake Travis residence lends an air of Snow White's enchanted woods to his Austin domain, a spectacle he intends to preserve. Could anyone have predicted that the prominent finance broker would rise to fame through his compassionate gesture towards a starving deer? What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you.